Hello Tower Guard friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for an Orc Mode workout, and today was max effort lower day. Not particularly happy with the maxes today, but we'll discuss all of that. But a quick reminder for those of you who enjoy these videos, please remember to click like down below. Help me keep those likes higher than the dislikes. And this is all coming up later because I had to do a consultation with a new client early this morning before training. So it kind of slid me back just a little bit. But we're going to have this up here shortly. So my kind of game plan got a little thrown off with the benching because you guys know I tend to be a little stronger with the Buffalo bar, and I felt, well, I got the 352, so I can probably PR over my 345 close grip from before the deload, and I just kind of ramped to it quick, and I legitimately thought I was going to get it. When I unracked it, when I lowered it on the eccentric, I'm like, okay, I got this. And when I went to go up, power wasn't there. I got it off the chest pretty fast. And then it just stuck. And it dropped. I just ran completely out of power. Now some people will say silly stuff like, well, that's a misgroup. No, that's not a misgroup. No, I don't make those type of excuses, guys. All right? I was not strong enough to lift that weight today. And I felt like pecs, delts, everything else are an issue. And, one of the things I thought about it as I was looking at it, I'm like, I've been working on all the incline stuff, and I'm slowly trying to get the incline up, which I am extremely weak at, but I'm going to make it a high priority, and to rebuild my overhead press after rehabbing the shoulder. But realistically, my incline is so far behind the bench that little PRs on it probably are not even producing enough benefit to build my bench. Okay, so I feel like in the last couple weeks, my pecs may have detrained just a hair, because look at that lift. Look at that just sink. So I realized I need to work dips back in because I really feel like the dips were bringing a lot to the table. And the same thing, I started working that other tricep exercise in, and I like that exercise, but man, I just haven't got strong enough at it yet for it to really carry over. I need to go back and get real strong on dips again. And when I tested my dips here in a bit, it told me, yep, my dips have detrained. And if my dips have detrained, I feel like they were helping rebuild off the muscle memory a lot for that bench to get that bench back to where it was. Because I got back to my old PR from earlier this year, pre-injury, and it took me, my God, 5 months to do it. 6 months, whatever it's been. And I felt like I was on a good track. But, we've got to bring all these things up. I'm going to have to work on dips. I'm going to work on the incline. And I kept with the plan for the incline. I was actually going to try to hit a 2.5 pound PR every workout on that close grip. I realized that's not going to happen. I need to build back up. I need to go back and try to hit my previous PR, which I'll maybe try to do later this week, which is 2.5 pounds lighter, because I got 345 right before my week off. And, I've got to build all these things up, though. My pecs, upper chest, triceps and things. But realistically, here's what happens with my training. It looks like when I do the close grip, like I've got a tricep weakness, but I've done enormous amounts of tricep work. I'm really strong on JM presses, dips, things like that. I tend to be all tricep and lat on my bench. And so if my triceps aren't strong enough to lift it, they give out. But I don't think they've really been my true weakness. Not completely. Not after I spent all that time rebuilding them. Because even these recent lifts, that's been my triceps that have let me lift these 340 plus and 352 Buffalo bar close grips. It's my triceps that have let me do that. And so I really need to just make sure I'm training the triceps with a lot of good pressing and dips and getting at different angles. But I've got to bring up the other muscles. Okay, that means my whole chest, lower chest, upper chest, everything. So went over, and this went good. I decided to work with 80% today instead of 85 and see if I could get some 5s. But to keep my volume reasonable, because I can't go crazy on the volume, I just can't recover, I decided a couple of these exercises I'd do 2 sets and then do 3 sets of the others. Now, keeping in mind, even before you factor maxes in, 2 sets of close grip, 2 sets of dips, 3 sets of incline, of limit sets, that's 7 sets for chest. Okay? That's not counting the maxes. The maxes still count towards effective reps and effective volume. What do we want to call it? 8 sets, 9 sets for my pecs? That's a lot. Okay? I can't be doing 3 sets if I want to do this many presses and do a little bit of overhead pressing, because I've got to bring it back up. And we just can't handle those sort of volumes. I can't recover from it. Most people can't. Not when we're going hard. People who are doing more, you're not doing challenging sets. We have percentages of my maxes to compare these to. We've seen my maxes. Okay. But I dug in and I'm like, let me do on a lot of these like one good set and then try an ant rep. And 275, I ended up getting 5 and then I got 6. I got 6 reps on a close grip with a good strong pause on the final rep, which I did based upon the fact that I knew that 5th rep when I did the 4th was going to be easy, so I just kind of did a soft, good touch and go. And then the last one, I went ahead and sank it and paused it and locked it out. So 6 reps with 275 on the close grip. Okay, we're getting decent there. That's not bad, considering I've done all that other maxes and stuff first and as a second set. Happy with it. Happy with it. Felt some good stimulation. Lit my chest and shoulders up. And then I tried to do dips. Now, before my week off, back when I was still doing dips, what's the best thing you guys saw me hit on dips? I got 110 pounds for 6 reps. I struggled to get triples for 2 triples today with that. What does that tell us? My dips have detrained. But this still lit my tricep up and my lower chest. Like on these and what I've been feeling on the dips, my chest and my triceps. I don't really feel delt on them. But we have all the other delt work in there. So I need to get real strong at dips again. So this let me kind of get some training response in, because this was heavy enough, and with 6 total sloppy reps between the 2 sets, we're getting a training response, but it's a little too heavy. So next time I need to drop that weight down. Right? Drop the weight. I might drop it all the way to 90. Take 20 pounds off. See if we can get some 5s. Okay? See if I can get 5s with that. And I'll be stronger at it next time because the movement pattern is slightly detrained. Always my first rep looks so bad it's hard for me to get depth. But even then, like watch this, I did this, and this one's good, the third one's good, then I went down and I couldn't come back up. I hit failure. So I hit actual muscle failure there. Okay? So we'll get the dips back up. We need to get back to where we can do that 110 for 5 to 6 reps. That'll happen quick, and then we need to get stronger from there. Same thing on the incline. I'm like, well, since I'm already doing roughly 5s today, let's try the same thing with this. And I managed to get 3 by 5, and I think I squeezed out a 6 rep on the 3rd set. So we know we're good. This is based off the new max. So what am I using for percentage there? 80%. So I hit 240 today, which felt challenging. That was pretty dang close to a true max for me on this. And keeping in mind, guys, some people need to remember this is a 45-degree incline. It's a pretty steep incline. Trying to pause these reps best I can when dealing with it. So the 240 has got to come up, and realistically, I don't think the incline is going to improve my bench till I put another 50 pounds on it, or at least get it to 275. Goal would be 300. Long-term goal, I want to let's get it to 315. Okay. I think it's doable. I just have to accrue enough muscle tissue. I'm getting the movement pattern down now. I've got to accrue enough muscle tissue. And what do we mean? Upper chest, that whole upper shelf of it. Front delt. Long head of my tricep. I feel it a lot on these. Both the incline and the overhead. But I feel it a lot on the incline. That long head of my tricep hurts. So my long head's getting trained good on these movements. So we're getting them there, and the dips will handle, I think, a lot of the rest of the tricep. Lower chest. This will make sure, and people need to remember, the incline still hits the low chest, by the way, and the dip still hits the upper chest. It's just an emphasis. But this will give me a variety of angles. It'll give me several exercises I can try to improve on. I can improve on the incline. I can improve on the dips. And I think if I improve it both concurrently, it will start carrying over to that bench. Okay? And I'll continue, obviously, to train my bench and then do the back off sets, all percentages. But this is what I've got to do. And then the incline will also feed my overhead press. Overhead, I don't think I'm going to try to go real heavy for now. I'm just going to try to do challenging sets with, let's say, the 135 using that real wide grip I'm using now, because I feel like that works some similar muscles to my overhead or to my incline. I feel like it will carry over to the incline will carry over to it. We'll put some muscle on in the right spots. But by this point in the workout, like, I just can't handle real heavy weight anymore. But I still need to train the movement pattern, and I still am going heavy enough. I'm sure the last rep or two are effective reps. Okay, even if I'm getting like 7 on the final set, sometimes if I'm doing 5s first, we're still getting some effective reps, but it's not ultra high quality sets. But it's a detrained movement pattern, and this variation is really hard with that wide grip, and especially touching the collarbone. So I'm touching on the reps. Very difficult for me. because again, some of my muscle weaknesses, but I feel my whole shoulders more. I feel my side delt more, and I feel my upper chest a little more. And those are both areas that we need to improve. And also that long head of the tricep gets worked. Plus, again, we just need to get strong at the press again. And I'm going to mess with the wide grip for just a little while. Okay, because again, that's the same grip width I'm taking on the incline, which is pinkies on the rings, which for an overhead press is considered fairly wide. But I'll do 3 back off sets, and that's what I did. Two sets of 5, and then I tried an AMRAP. I don't remember if I got 6 or 7. You guys can count when we get to the 3rd set. I forgot. Not a big deal, though, because it was pretty much all I had. It was all that I had. And yes, the first rep always looks bad. And yes, sometimes I get turned a little. If you guys look at my feet, sometimes my left foot is further back. So I tend to turn so that I'm squared up with my feet. And for some reason, I don't seem to walk this out evenly. I always seem to have the left foot further back than the right, which means I have to turn the torso. So it's just relative to the camera. I'm not twisted. I'm twisted relative to the camera, if that makes sense. So that my torso kind of twists over just a hair. It's to match my feet so that I'm actually balanced. But the camera itself is in slightly offset for that. It is what it is, not a big deal. But again, these are going to take time, and I'm not going to try to max on this for just a bit. I'm going to really work on more close grip stuff, work on maxing on the incline, working off that, and I'm just going to try to do effective, good volume with this and try to get just stronger and get more reps with the 135 for now. Okay. Because I used to do sets of 10 on the closer grip with the 135 before the shoulder issue, which we've rehabbed, which we've covered numerous times. I don't want to talk about it anymore. People ask, it's like, what happened with it? I talked about it every workout for 4 months. Go back and check. All through the fall, late summer. So that went well. Happy with it. And I didn't really do any tricep work because I did so much pressing and I did the dips, and the dips light my triceps up. Then we did rows, and I bumped 5 pounds a day, and I said to just do 3 sets. When I look at my total volume, because all the other muscles are getting other work involved in this, I think 3 good sets, really heavy, really challenging sets of rows every workout, every upper day will be enough. Because I'm also doing the hang pulls right after. Works a lot of the same muscles. And keep in mind, I'm working sets of deadlifts now on my lower days. So that hits the lats, and then I do cheat curls. So people are like, well, are the lats and the biceps necessarily getting enough? Yeah, they're fine, because I do the cheat curls after all this too. And then I'm doing deadlifts, and deadlifts grow my lats. My lats will grow from just deadlift volume. So we did 280, 3 sets of 5. Again, nice and explosive, nice and hard. These were challenging. And I'll try to work with this and try to keep the cheating fairly minimal. It's hard not to cheat when we get this heavy. Very hard not to cheat a little bit. But again, we're getting explosiveness. I feel everything working that I need to work. I feel my lats, rear delts, traps, everything working hard. And they're getting hit hard, and it's a lot of tension. And then we have the eccentric effect of when it jerks back down. So, all good. And then we did the hang pulls afterwards. And I just used the same weight and did 3x5 also. And for those curious, yes, I'm using a deadlift bar for this. Why? I like the better grip. It feels better. And I'm using my least favorite deadlift bar. So I'm not beating up my favorite deadlift bar. I'm using my Ohio bar, not my Texas bar. Okay. But the hang pulls, same thing. And for those who don't understand a hang pull, what we're doing, you can research it. It's an entire shoulder girdle builder. But it works the rear delts, entire trap, side delts. It works lats, a little bit of hip drive. I mean, it works some lower body. But essentially, a hang pull like this is just, instead of a hang clean, you're not going into a clean. You're just coming up to the chest and stopping instead of catching it. And it doesn't require the same skill that a clean does. As my shoulder health improves, again, I would love to start working on some cleans and snatches. And I think it would be fun, and it might be beneficial to me to do so. But right now, my shoulder health will not allow for it. And hang pulls, we can do a lot of weight. So a lot of people who say stuff like, well, Olympic lifts, they can't put enough hypertrophy on you because so much technique involved, and we can't use blah, blah, blah weight for tension and fatigue. Well, that goes away with stuff like hang pulls and high pulls and snatch grip high pulls and all those lifts, because we can use a heavier weight. Because we're not required to do that technique and to catch it. We just move big, heavy weight explosively. And it still hammers all of the shoulders and upper back. Okay? Hits the shoulders and upper back very, very effectively. And I feel it. And it feels good on my shoulder. Some people would be like, man, when you had that shoulder problem, does that hurt? No, because of that rotation angle of the shoulder feels really, really good. And it works a lot of rear delt. It's usually pronated grip stuff. Same thing, people say, why don't you, are you going to mess with some reverse bench? I don't know. The reverse bench might actually be problematic for my shoulder. Same way chins were. You know, could be. But I have no intention of doing so. Not in my current purview, because people have asked. No desire to right now. I messed with reverse bench when I was younger, a long time ago. Fun lift, but I don't know. I don't feel the need, especially when I'm training alone. You know, it doesn't bring anything special to the table. It's just another press variation. But again, these feel good in my shoulder girdle. Unlike things like chins, which inflame it, this feels good. So between these two, I'm getting a whole lot of work done through the upper back, through my shoulder girdle. When you factor in the overhead pressing, all the deadlifts and stuff, we're actually getting pretty good complete development up there. And the same thing, I'm going to be doing more of my safety bar work to make sure that stuff gets hammered. But I feel like my lats are coming back now. And hopefully we'll see some carryover to my squatting and deadlifting, because they had detrained a bit as I was dealing with the shoulder. And we did cheat curls, and I went up again. I went up to 155 and got the same reps with about the same amount of cheating, and I felt them more. I definitely felt my biceps were actually sore after the second set. And I got sixes. So with 155, we got sixes just like we got with 145. So I'll stick with 155 for just a bit, see how it goes, and then increase as we start being able to get a little more than 6 reps. And again, cheat curls, there's plenty of data. People say, what's the point of a cheat curl? You're just cheating for ego. No, it's not at all. I don't mind doing a light strict curl. You guys have watched me do sets of 20 reps with a strict curl. Okay? I feel like my biceps have made better gains when I'm messing with stuff like this than when I was doing all of that. And now I use a little bitty lightweight. I mean, for me to do sets of 20, it's not going to be heavy for strict curls. And I've done it. This is about getting the benefits of a big multi-joint exercise for the bicep. Okay? And it allows me to get an eccentric overload on the bicep. I feel it in my biceps a lot. My biceps actually get sore a little bit, which is rare for me, because I don't tend to feel them after that old injury. I think there's still some nerve damage in that left one. But overall, wasn't happy with the max, happy with the rest of the workout. I'm going to continue to flow with everything, and we're going to hit some squat and deadlift PRs tomorrow. We're definitely going to get a squat PR. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.